his face as he says it and looked him in his good eye. And she said, "I'm not going anywhere." He dedicated his life to God. You can look at the scars, or you can see what's inside. These are people of honor. These are people of faith. We heard from them and told their stories, not just so our hearts would be warmed knowing that we have people like that in America. We heard from them so we would be motivated to strive to be better in our own lives, to see regular people and the things that they can accomplish when they set their mind to it, and then teach it to their children. These are pretty hard examples to live up to. I know I need my spouse. That's why I encouraged you on Saturday to unite with your spouse. Get on the same page with your spouse. But it's also why we had the new Black Robe Regiment that also no one in the media is telling you. This, the crowd behind me, is 240 priests, pastors, and rabbis of all denominations. There were imams on the stage, standing together to preach one truth: individual liberty, and that your rights come from God. These people are going to come under attack. The very gates of hell are going to open up against people. Alvida's already seen it. So had several of the other people that were on stage. Amazing things are happening in America. But they don't continue to happen if you don't pick up the challenge. When we come back, I will tell you the thrust of my speech that wasn't printed in any newspaper, no matter what city it came from. It's the 40-day and 40-night challenge. It's an amendment to what I told you on this program about a month ago. That's next.
America today begins to turn back to God. That saved a wretch like me. I once was lost.
I know as much as the media wants to try to make this event about anything other than the truth of what it was about, me or anything else, I want you to make your own decision. Don't believe me. Just watch it yourself. If you missed it, go to Insider Extreme portion of glennbeck.com and watch my speech. It has been posted today. I think you'll find the truth. I know you and I have a special relationship, and that you trust me, and I value that trust. I have been praying for answers. I've told you on this program before that I recognize I am in this place at this time for a reason, just as you are. I have said in the strongest possible terms that I think what God is telling us is get behind him. I think that's what he's saying. Use him as a shield. There are enemies of man's freedom, and that's an enemy of God, not of you. They will destroy themselves with the purifying fire of truth. And that's what this means. If you read the Moses story and you connect it all the way to George Whitefield, I mean, if I could spend a couple of hours with you sitting on a couch, I could tell you the story from ancient Babylon all the way to today, and you would see the thread. It's the same thread, the same message over and over, the purifying fire of the burning bush. I was fascinated by that. But what is it? It's God, but it's truth. Just like the Pharaoh fell. He fell because he wasn't based in truth. It's the same with us. It's the same with the Roman Empire. It's not based in truth. It's based in lust for money or power or whatever. So when I figured that out, I thought, okay, well, we have to make sure that we're standing in the truth. You have to stand in the blaze of the truth. It is a purifying fire. If you read the Moses story, it's a fire that burns but does not consume. But the same language later in the story, when the Israelites are not doing the right thing, or the Egyptians are not doing the right thing, he consumes them. Well, what is that fire that burns but does not consume, but then sometimes consumes? It's the same device. The device, the truth. That's what we have a shortage of in America. So as I was trying to put together the messages for Saturday, and I told you it wasn't about politics, it's about the truth. I tried to find the message. And the message is, listen carefully. I believe we're approaching a last call. All aboard God's train. Buckle up, because trouble is coming. Get behind the shield of God. That is the message. I honestly had nightmares last night because I felt maybe I wasn't clear enough. Maybe I didn't say enough. Maybe I missed the point, or you did somehow. The message I feel I'm supposed to give you is get behind the shield of God. There is safety with Him. There are answers there. There is protection. I have prayed on my knees for 2 years. Please, Lord, stay your hand. There are good people in this nation. Good people. I feel as though maybe this is what happens over and over again. God says, tell my people to wake up, tell my people, and they don't. And then He says, gather my people. And if they don't wake up, it's last call. Turn to Him, please. As I was trying to put together this message and a way to relate it to you, you know I love the founders. I love the way they think. Thomas Jefferson was brilliant, and he was all about puzzles. Puzzles and codes. So if you're kind of like the Da Vinci Code, and if you're looking for puzzles and codes in our language, where would he put it? Where would he put it? What codes are there in our founding documents? Declaration of Independence. Well, I would assume there are codes, just like there are in the Constitution. What is the code in the Constitution? It's easy. Do you think that was a font problem that somebody said, hey, scale it down, we the people, it's too big, it's not all going to fit on a page? No, that was code. They knew that it had to send a message. They knew people would get lost. They wouldn't know the answer. They'd get detached from the Constitution. Jefferson and Adams talked about it in their letters back and forth. So what did they do? They wanted to make a point. Hey, dummy, look, we the people is the answer. Now, are there any other codes? Well, in the Declaration of Independence, my favorite phrase has always been, I believe it is, actually code. It's this phrase, that with firm reliance on divine providence, not manifest destiny, divine providence. With firm reliance on divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Well, let's take this out of the powdered wig era, shall we? Let's look at that one piece by piece. What does it mean? What does it tell us to do? I believe it is the way out. This was the message on Saturday in Washington. I'll break it down for you next. I want to show you a picture of a boy and his dad at the 828 rally. These guys are holding tickets that I had given them to the event that my wife and I held at the Kennedy Center the night before. It was Divine Destiny. It was kind of a prelude to the Black Robe Regiment. I gave them those tickets. Can you scroll through a couple of those pictures, or is this the only one we have? I want you to see the look, again, taken by George Lang, one of the best photographers in the world. Look at the face on the dad. That is what this was all about. I think there's one more, is there not? I love these pictures. Last one. The best story that I heard from somebody on email was from the 9/12 Texas coordinator. She was on her way home, and she was on a flight to Chicago, and her daughter was sitting next to a gentleman who went to D.C. for the Sharpton rally, and he was wearing an Obama t-shirt. Well, he went to the Restoring Honor rally to see what it was all about. He was planning on protesting. He left a changed man. He had nothing to protest. He saw the truth for himself. That's what it's all about. Now, one other thing, this Black Robe Regiment, it's pretty amazing. And there are people that I want you to meet. On Friday on this program, David Reaver, he is the gentleman who had the phosphorus grenade go off next to his face. This guy is a spiritual giant. Rabbi Daniel Lapin, he is from Seattle, Washington. I don't know how they haven't run him out of town with torches yet. He's an amazing, amazing guy. Very deep thinker and funny. And Pastor Miles McPherson from San Antonio. This guy is a get out there, roll up your sleeves, and do it kind of guy. These three are going to be joining me on Friday to try to help you begin to change your thinking and change your life. If we change who we are, we will be prepared to help others. If we change who we are, we will grow the next George Washington or Abraham Lincoln. Someday, they may be carving a statue to your son or daughter, but only if we do the tough things now. Join me all this week and on Friday with a little more on the Black Robe Regimen. Back in a minute. Again, I want to show you this picture. Now, I had this blown up because Bill O'Reilly said to me last week, Beck, if you have 100,000 people, you'll host the O'Reillys. You should be doing 8 o'clock. And then I thought, no, you know, Bill is, I wanted to get something wallet size for him. So tonight at 8 o'clock, I'm giving him what he's got. It's Bill O'Reilly. He has a very big wallet. So join me tonight with Bill O'Reilly. From New York, I want to thank you so much for coming this weekend and making a difference. You are the key. From New York, good night, America.